It is April 6th. It is day 75 of the Trump presidency. It's a Sunday. 75. We are hitting another nice round number. Happy about it. So as people are digging into what is going on with Trump's tariffs, more and more individuals and organizations are coming out and making statements about it. And there is a conservative think tank called American Enterprise Institute that has come out and said that they believe that they understand the formula that was used and that there is a gigantic mathematic error in the formula that was used that is inflating the impact of the tariffs by about 4 times. Meaning, like, if there should have been a 10% tariff, it is 40%. And it is causing absolute chaos, as we can see. So according to them, the basic piece of the equation is the U.S. trade deficit with each country divided by the value of the goods that the United States imports from that country. But there's 2 other variables, and they're meant to cancel each other out, except that one is calculated totally wrong. So anyways, their final conclusion about this was, this formula has no foundation in either economic theory or trade law. And again, this is a conservative think tank. I think people are pretty pissed and disgusted. They also made a statement saying something like, if they're going to do shit like this, it needs to be accurate. It needs to be correct. And I think it's funny that it's starting to come from conservatives. George Bush also came out and made a statement way too fucking late. I mean, it was brilliant. It was great, which is a weird thing for me to say about George Bush. I also realized when I was listening to it how much I would give for George Bush to be president right now. If you would have told me that years ago, back when I was a spoiled piece of shit who thought I had rights, I mean, I hated him when he was president. I thought he was funny sometimes. But, you know, I was really disgusted by the war and he just seemed stupid to me. And now I'm like, he's amazing. I mean, he's not, but you know what I'm saying? Like, in comparison to what's going on right now, it seems like such a walk in the park. And it really highlights how much I was taking for granted about what it meant to be an American. And how much I was taking for granted about our freedoms, and just there's things that I just didn't think. There's lines I didn't think we would cross. There's things I didn't think would change. And I felt convicted and certain that things would continue to get better, which is why I felt so much frustration when things backslid at all. Now I understand that, girl, you didn't know what the word backslide even meant. Really, really puts things in perspective. You know what I mean? Anyways, analysts, global economic analysts, are now fearing that we are entering a global recession. I'm sure this will happen. In fact, I'm sure it's actually probably too late to save the globe from a recession. And Darren Jones, who is the Treasury Secretary of the UK, is saying that globalization has ended. Meaning, like, global trade, kind of like the world had really opened up, not just economically, but like the internet. Like, there's a lot of things where we were becoming more like certainly not like one entity by any stretch of the imagination, but just like having a lot more interaction between countries. And the problem with one country taking such an aggressive stance is that it topples the progress of the world, and it puts every single country on edge and playing both defense and offense, and it just changes. Like, he fucked the vibe up so bad, like possibly forever. I don't know, time will tell. And at a time when, frankly, I think like the world is going to need each other more and more. Like, we really need to be good to each other. entering this era where climate change is going to cause crazy storms, and we may end up as refugees, like depending on where you're at in the United States. Speaking of which, there are now 18 people dead from the floods and storms that are happening all across the South and the Midwest, and Kentucky is like a literal disaster zone. I saw videos of Nashville like flooding insanely. I mean, it's not good, dude. And you can sit there and call yourself a nationalist until you're the one who needs help. I don't know. I think we have some really hard lessons coming, and, you know, maybe not us, the people watching this channel, but I just mean the world and the United States. And I am so, I didn't include this again, but I just want to reiterate, just for anybody who didn't watch yesterday, California is playing such hardball. Like literally they're already in the process of negotiations, like backdoor negotiations with other countries to just completely bypass Trump's tariffs. And a lot of people are starting to say like, this is how the Civil War starts. Essentially that like blue states are going to start to step out and around the tariffs because they're just like, we're not participating in your nonsense. We didn't agree to this. And that, then what? Like, is the Trump administration going to go after them? Oh, fuck yeah. Absolutely. And like, how? Like, is he going to send military? I don't know. Like, now I'm starting to be like, oh, okay. A civil war, and maybe like an actual violent civil war, actually is super possible. Again, depending on what state you're in, that's like the degree to which it could be, how dangerous it is. It's weird because California is simultaneously like safer and also such a target because they have the 5th largest economy in the world. Like if they were their own country, they would have the 5th largest economy in the world. Yeah. And they're basically paying for like the poor red states. Like Arkansas has no money. Kentucky has no money. There's all those states have no money at all. They're welfare states. And without California, I mean, really, actually, if the red states split from the blue states, the red states would be so poor. It would be a disaster. Anyways, absolute mess. Speaking of an absolute mess, very sadly, a second unvaccinated school-aged child has died of the measles in West Texas. I did not read the article. I saw that RFK Jr. went to like console the parents or something. Thanks. Fucking hate you. This is your fault, bitch. I mean, it's not. You know what? The information is out there for everyone. And you can't, I mean, people are going to do what they're going to do. It should be illegal to do that to a child. It should be absolutely fucking illegal. Those parents are responsible for that child's death. And I am disgusted. I'm disgusted with our country. I'm disgusted with the stupidity. And that's actually the thing that Republicans hate the most about liberals and leftists is like, they know that we hate them for just being stupid. There's a difference between being born with a low or like average IQ and like being willfully ignorant. Just not even just like getting the basic shit down with reading and science, like just like refusing to believe in math and science. That to me, like I have nothing against people who are low IQ, obviously. It's the cruelty and the willful ignorance that make me very angry because this information is out there for everyone. And it's not to say that I don't understand not trusting the government. Trust me, I get it. But you were vaccinated for measles. Like, there's some basic shit. I honestly a little bit understand why everyone was afraid of the COVID vaccine because it's mRNA was new technology. I get it. It was a very pressured, rushed decision. I understand. We didn't have a lot of time to make a decision. I was vaccinated multiple times. But I have a little bit of sympathy. If adults are still not vaccinated for COVID, I don't have any sympathy left for them. I had a little bit of sympathy at the time. especially when it comes to like vaccinating kids around that. But anyways, the long story short is that our basic vaccines that we all got, that we're all alive because of, and they're in your body, and yet you're refusing your child that same luxury, because it is a luxury, and there are countries that are desperate for those vaccines that cannot afford them. Anyways, stresses me the fuck out that those parents aren't in jail, because they should be. Especially when we have a massive measles outbreak in your fucking state. Speaking of cruelty and stupidity, the United States has revoked visas for South Sudanese citizens that are here in the United States. Well, refugees that are here in the United States because the government has not accepted the citizens back in a timely manner. Even though literally South Sudan is on the brink of a civil war, it's horrible. And they're going to just send them back. Or maybe they'll send them to El Salvador. Who knows what they'll do. But cruel. Cruel and repulsive and embarrassing and disgusting. And I hate you. Not you. You know who. Over 50 countries have already reached out to the White House trying to book discussions with Trump about the tariffs. So I was thinking about this when I read that headline. And in a lot of ways, this is like what he's in this for, right? That this is like a narcissist's dream come true. When they have you completely under their foot and there's nothing you can do except like suck up to them, that's like their jam. And he wants them to grovel. He wants them to compliment him. And you will get far with a narcissist if you are willing to do that. You will. So I know that a lot of countries understand this, and they will try to use this not to their advantage, because none of them are going to walk away with a true advantage, but they will possibly be able to save themselves from like a 40% tariff. Do you know what I mean? Like, I think realistically, what they're going to find is that he is likely to be unwilling to completely back down. If he's not even listening to his own advisors, he's got some sort of, and I really don't think that they're going to like come forth and apologize for their math errors either. They're going to make some weird shit up. Crap. I saw that they had some sort of statement about they have a reason why they put tariffs on uninhabited islands. I'm sure it's so stupid. I'm going to try to remember to go read that, and you should too, because whatever their reason is, there's no reason other than like, yo, we fucked up. That's the reason. The reason is, yo, we were using ChatGPT because we don't know how to read. Hate them. This is a horrible, I heard them talking about this on NPR today, and it's terrible, and yet it's happening nonstop. The Israeli prisons where Palestinians are being held are really inhumane. And the world knows this. And basically a boy, I think he was only 17, had been held there. I don't know how long he was in there. Long story short, he starved to death. They were able to obtain his body. Palestine was able to obtain his body, and they had an autopsy done, or something like a human rights doctor. So actually, I don't know if his body's all the way back in Palestine, or if like this human rights like intervention doctor person just got a hold of his body for an autopsy, but said that like his injuries are consistent with starvation. Israel's denying it. They're saying that they followed the laws, which obviously like these are war crimes. These are crimes. These are crimes against humanity. You can't do that. You can't do that to a prisoner. You can't starve them to death. Anyways, Silicon Valley tech executives. This is actually my last story tonight, so it's a little bit short. But this story has a lot of schadenfreude and also is interesting. Like, I feel like there's like an ellipsis at the end of like, we'll see what they do next. So long story short, Silicon Valley is sick of this shit. They dumped millions of dollars into getting Trump elected, right? We know that. They probably did other shady shit trying to get Trump elected as well. And they did that because they believed that he would completely deregulate everything so that they can do mergers when they want. They're not paying taxes, yada, yada, right? And he is in the process of, changing our tax laws again, or extending. Are they just extending the no taxes on billionaires basically, or are they increasing? I'm not sure. But in any case, it's not working in their favor fast enough. And instead, they're losing billions and billions of dollars and really large amounts from their stock valuations. They will not be able to easily and cheaply manufacture the goods that they sell. Period. We don't even have a path there, right? Like Apple, for instance, is down 16% after the tariffs, and they don't have the manufacturing capability. Like, it's going to drive the cost of iPhones up by at least 50%. At least, maybe more. Because they were manufacturing, also computer chips, just all of it. We don't have the stuff, bro. We don't even have buildings made. And so it's going to be really crazy to watch what actually happens. So, okay, Apple's down 16%, Meta's down 14%, Amazon is down 13%. I believe Tesla is down 43% or something insane. Elon has lost $110 billion of his own personal wealth in the last 12 months. And all of those tech CEOs have lost billions of dollars from their personal wealth. So anyways, a insider at one of these organizations that wanted to remain anonymous said that they're all realizing that Trump was never on their side to begin with, and that they said something along the lines of, there's an exact quote, but I didn't write the quote down, but it was something along the lines of we are not willing to just be victims. So that's where I'm that's an interesting kind of threatening thing to say. What does that mean? Right? Can you put the cat in the bag? If it's anyone's fault, it is the people who funded this. It is the people who were sorry about that. It is the people who were so excited to cheat that they didn't care what happened to the planet. They didn't care what happened to the people. And now, it's backfiring completely on them. There's that lady on TikTok who sings the song. Actually, she's pretty famous. I think she's maybe other places as well. She sings the song, "I never thought the leopards would eat my face." It's just basically, again, it's Schadenfreude. It's they thought that he was their attack dog, and now he has turned on them. But that's not really what's happened, actually. And this is what people just need to get through their skull. There is nothing for him to turn on, because he is on no one's side. He is on no one and nothing's side, not even his own side, actually. He is almost like the ghost of defensiveness and rage, okay? A narcissist is almost entirely empty inside. He is reacting. He is reacting. He is reacting. That's why frequently the things they do don't even make any sense. There's no way for you. It can turn people's brains into mush. They tie themselves into knots trying to make sense of it. There's no sense to be made. Give it up. He's going to do in each and every moment the thing that gives him the best advantage, the biggest boost, etc. Or just what he feels like. But other people don't exist. Other organizations don't exist. He doesn't have the ability to have loyalty. So him telling you something doesn't mean anything. And I think people should have been able to know that and see that by watching him betray everyone else that used to be on his side. Like Anthony Scaramucci and Chris Christie and all these freaking dudes. He's betrayed every single person, including his own children, including all of his wives, right? Huge betrayals. Actually, I I don't know where I heard this. There was a businessman who said he would not do business with anyone that would cheat on their spouse, because if they would do that to their spouse, they would absolutely do that to you in a business situation. And I think that's fucking smart. That is like one of my biggest rules of life is the way someone treats other people, they will absolutely always treat you. It is just a matter of time. I have seen no exceptions to that rule ever, not in my own personal life, not in other people's lives. Sometimes it can take years for them to backstab you the way you watch them backstab someone else, but mark my words, it's coming. Anyways, it's going to be a week. It's going to be a week. I would get ready for the stock market to get worse. Let's just assume, right? A lot of people who know what they're talking about are saying we are nowhere near the bottom of this. Like if this was a roller coaster, we're like, we're not even all the way, we're not even starting the screaming portion where you're just going straight down. So just buckle up, you know what I mean? And again, don't take anything personally. This isn't personal. Keep reminding yourself, if it helps you, like it helps me, keep reminding yourself that we are nowhere near as unfortunate as people who've had to live through wars. I mean, not to say that we won't, but we're not yet. There's not boots on the ground here yet, okay? So people who've lived through war, people who've lived through famine and like true plagues, people who lived through the Dark Ages, people who lived through the Depression. Again, some of this may come to pass. Like we may have our own similar experiences, but to those eras, but we're not there yet. So take care of yourself, get some rest, watch something funny, enjoy your internet and Netflix while we still have it. Love you. See you tomorrow.